And today is a big day, not just because it's the new year, it's also a big day for the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare. Joining me from D.C. to tell us about it is the Wall Street Journal's health policy editor, Janet Adamy, who's covered the law since it was written in 2009. Janet, why is today so important?
Well, starting at 12:01 a.m. this morning, January 1st, 2014, most of the health care law takes effect. Now, what this means is that for the 49 million Americans who yesterday didn't have health insurance, they now have a range of new ways that they can get it.
That's an incredible number. Janet, stay with us. Coming up next, we'll unpack what this...
Welcome to A New America.